When the Ride Humble app officially launches, it will be able to send riders from point A to point B. $1 from every cup purchase will go directly to the Meals on Wheels Redwood Coast as part of the company's Give Back Day. Competitors across Western colleges and universities are gathered here for a 3-day logging sports competition. While you won't find sandworms along these dunes, you will find an invasive species known as the yellow lupin. Outside of our newsroom here on Humboldt Hill, student journalists had first-hand coverage of the Cal Poly protest and occupation. From the radio waves to headlines and across social media, the Humboldt journalism students made sure to get the word out to viewers and readers alike. On the radio, Kiana Zanika, station manager of KRFH, covered the protest live on air and into the early hours of Tuesday as the occupation ramped up.
Honestly, I feel really proud of all the work that we've done this week. We put in a lot of hours, and this was very new to KRFH, and I'm just very proud of my team, the work that we did do, the dedication, the commitment.
Those at KRFH wore press helmets and vests as they continue to report on the ever-changing situation. Because of the live nature of the reporting, the community also played a part in the news.
Honestly, like the people sending in updates, they were a part of the efforts to making sure that we're staying updated and getting factual, accurate information. Overall, we were also getting emails, DMs, people calling in saying, thank you for providing this coverage, and even asking if there's anything that they can do to help.
For the team at El Linador, the news of the police coming to campus hit after taking a class photo.
We got the email about Siemens Hall being closed, and we just decided to go check it out with some cameras and see what was up, and to watch it all unfold like that with police from all over the county showing up in different riot gear, and it felt unprecedented. It felt surreal to watch it unfold.
El Linador is the only bilingual newspaper in the county. Journalists were able to deliver updates in Spanish as it happened.
I remember being on live and there was lots of people like in Spanish, like what's going on. I just know that there's so many like family members at home who are watching this through media and they're seeing just pure violence and not actually getting media from like the source and the ground. Us being able to give that information kind of gave them like a little bit.
There's not only a growing Spanish-speaking population here at Humboldt, but as well as a large community of Spanish-speaking students on campus. Many of their parents can't read the emails sent in English, so I think it was really important for our news to not only translate them, but give updates in Spanish.
Along with them was the weekly college paper, The Lumberjack, with one of our reporters pulling double for Redwood News.
Our plan was to stay out of the action, but still capture the action. Mark McKenna, one of our instructors, was telling us, he said, stay 10 arms lengths away from what's going down. So we all had zoom lenses. We all were able to stay in a safe position, but still be able to cover what was happening. Part of that safety plan was covering the protest with a buddy. Savannah's buddy was the editor-in-chief of The Lumberjack.
We're a pretty small staff. The Arcata High Pepper Box has a way bigger staff than we do, so we were trying to cover a lot of ground with not a lot of people. So definitely kind of making sure that we have all of our grounds covered. We learned a lot about, reporting boots to the ground.
And their coverage will be something to take with them into the next phase of their careers.
I never saw myself as a radio news reporter, and now after this experience, I'm like, I am a radio news reporter. I felt so much that I was doing what I was meant to be doing, and I was so involved with the community. And again, I love the community so much. So if just finding my purpose and place here in the community has been very fulfilling.
In Arcata, I'm Sergio Berrueta for Redwood News. It's been a few weeks since the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, called for the removal of the Fisherman Memorial statue. This move was met with criticism from those associated with fishing.
Is absolutely ridiculous, and it's a slap in the face to those families of people that were lost at sea.
Eureka Mayor Kim Burgell released a statement shortly after about working in another way to share their message. Burgell said in response, quote, "By working together, we can find common ground and create positive change. Once again, we appreciate your organization's dedication to animal welfare and your concern for the well-being of fish." End quote.
The primary reason for bringing them here is, again, because we did write about collaborating with them. I think it's really important that when you say something, you keep your commitment.
Which led to PETA Director Ashley Byrne presenting a fish empathy quilt before the Eureka City Council.
Mayor Burgell was extremely helpful in working with us to find a way to display our quilt, and to educate the public about this other perspective, this other side of things. And we truly appreciate how gracious and helpful she's been.
The quilt is comprised of 100 squares, focused on raising awareness for fish empathy. Each square also came with a personal story from each designer, speaking on their own experience moving away from eating fish.
For instance, we have one quilt square, for instance, we have several quilt squares that were sent in by members of a Girl Scout troop in Austin, Texas, after they saw a presentation from a former commercial fisherman who had become a vegetarian, and after he educated them about the ways that fishing harms animals and the environment.
With the presentation, 3 quilt panels from the 6-panel quilt will hang outside of the council chambers for the next month.
We hope that people who view this quilt will come away with increased empathy for fish and understanding of the fact that they are intelligent animals who feel joy and fear and pain, just like we do.
In Eureka, I'm Sergio Berrueta for Redwood News. Eric Tilton has been on life support since the weekend of November 18th, and he's not expected to recover. He sustained non-survivable injuries, but since he's an organ donor, doctors kept him on life support.
If you knew him, you'd be friends with him. You would. He's a nice guy. He's got 3 boys. They ain't got no father no more. I've got a large family. He's got a lot of nieces and nephews, and they all love him. It's a good thing. And he's gone, but he can still help somebody.
The family supports organ donation. The problem is, Eric was in jail for a parole violation when guards found him unresponsive in his cell.
Anytime there is a patient who is facing end-of-life decisions, and pursuant to Eric's wishes, they were informed that he had chosen to be an organ donor if the opportunity existed for him at any point. It was determined that he would be able to help several people with the gift of life.
Eric is a match for 4 patients who need a liver, kidneys, and a heart. Yet the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office denied the family's request to release Eric's organs to those waiting for them. The family also says Sheriff William Hansel hasn't explained why.
To my understanding, he's not reached out to the Matilton family, and that's uncharacteristic of coroner partnerships. They are, involved in public servancy, and that conversation should happen.
Donor Network West works with more than 40 counties in California and Nevada to match organ donors and recipients. The Matilton family partnered with the nonprofit organization to seek answers as to why they are being denied Eric's wishes.
I don't understand why it's not working. The process should work. It works everywhere. I just don't understand why it's not working this time.
Especially as donations are time sensitive due to the lives that hang in the balance.
People are waiting. We was told that his heart is going to LA. What about those people? The effects on their family if they die? Death is a hard thing. It's hard for me. And I just don't want to see some of their family have to go through this if they don't have to.
Eric's case is incredibly rare, as fewer than 1% of those who suffer this type of injury are able to donate their organs. In Eureka, I'm Sergio Berrueta for Redwood News.